Yes, hello class, and welcome back from our previous lesson. And today we want to continue from where we left. My name is Namaswa. Now today we are going to dwell on exchange rates. But before that, we are going to finish up with multinational companies. Now, what are multinational companies? A multinational company, which can also be called a transnational company, is a company that has factories or service operations in more than one country. So we are saying this is a business that has a presence, it has factories or its operations in more than one country. Now, by this, we don't just refer to the company selling products abroad. No. It must have premises or offices abroad. For example, when you look at Coca-Cola, with its headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, now, Coca-Cola has a presence in more than 120 countries. So they have their businesses there, they have their factories, they produce their soft drink in those foreign countries. That is a good example of a multinational. If you look at Barclays Bank, which has been branded to ABSA in the African region, it's another example of a multinational. You look at KFC, right, that started in the US, it has a presence in Europe, and now it's even in Kenya. That is a multinational company. Now, what are the benefits of a business becoming international? In other words, when a business decides to expand and start branches or operations in other countries, what benefits do it get? Now, we shall look at the benefits in two ways. We have benefits to the business and we have benefits to the government. So when a business expands, it's going to enjoy certain benefits and the country will also enjoy benefits. Now let's start by looking at the benefits to the business. Now, as you can see from the table, one of the benefits to the business is that they will be producing goods at lower costs. Right? Now remember, in our previous lesson, we said certain countries would have cheap sources of raw materials. Because of their large population, they could have cheap sources of labor. Right? Countries like China, most countries in Africa. So when a country expands and starts its operations in those countries, they are going to produce at lower costs. That is one. But two, they will be closer to resources, e.g. oil. Right? Most companies, most factories require oil for their production activity. So when they move closer to where oil is, again, it's going to be an advantage. They'll be moving closer to the market. Is another benefit. For example, China's products have a very large demand in Africa. So when they come and establish their businesses in Africa, they'll be moving closer to the market. That's why we have so many Chinese companies that assemble vehicles, that manufacture apparel and clothes in Kenya, so that they come closer to the market. They also avoid expensive taxes of import of goods. Okay? So when a country comes and starts processing or manufacturing their products in a foreign country, they are not going to pay the import duty because they are manufacturing there. That's another benefit. And finally, they are able to spread the risks. Okay? Some countries, the business could not be doing well, could be having low sales, and in another country they will have high sales. So because of that, they'll be able to spread the risk. If the business does not do well in one country, it will do well in another country. Now we look at the benefits to the government. One is that jobs are created, so the government will benefit when jobs are created because it reduces insecurity. The government will raise more revenue in terms of taxes. There will also be investments in development of infrastructure in a country. There will be more exports. The country will be able to export more. And the government will also benefit from increased product choice for the consumers, and they will collect more taxes. Now, however, there are potential drawbacks to the country. We have looked at the benefits of a multinational company. We are also saying there are disadvantages. For example, one, there will be less sales for local businesses which might go bankrupt. Now these foreign companies may be more efficient in production. They could be using modern technology that is cheaper. Therefore, they will sell their products at relatively lower prices. Now, which means the local businesses might suffer from low sales, which may lead them to bankruptcy. Number two, there's a problem of repatriation of profits. Now, profits that are realized by these multinationals are sent back to their home country and does not benefit the country the business is located in. So we have had the complaint where when you have so many foreign companies, the Chinese companies, the Indian companies, the profits they make, they take them back to their countries. Therefore, our local economy suffers. Another drawback is that business has lots of influence on government. So, because of this influence, they can threaten to leave the country, which forces the country to sovereignty issue. When they are holding important sectors of the economy and they blackmail the country they want to leave, then the government may be forced to go by their demands, which might hurt the business. And finally, they can use up scarce resources in their country. So it can lead to a case where the natural scarce resources are overexploited, which leaves little for domestic companies. Now, we next look at exchange rates. And this will be the last part of our syllabus. Okay, we'll be finishing by looking at the exchange rates. Now, what do we mean by exchange rate? Now, an exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another currency. So when we're looking at the currency, that is the notes and coins that we use, and we compare this with another country, that is referred to as exchange rate. For example, currently, $1 exchanges at 109 Kenya shillings. That is exchange rate. $1 exchanges at 1.3 Canadian dollars. That is an exchange rate. Or $1 exchanges at 1.2 euro. That is another exchange rate. Now, currency appreciation refers to when the value of a currency increases. Okay, we are saying it has appreciated in value. For example, when 1 euro equals to $1.2, right? Then it increases to 1 euro for $1.7. We say the euro has appreciated. Initially, it was exchanging at 1.2 against the dollar, and now it's exchanging at 1.7. So it has gained 0.5 decimal. We say the currency has appreciated. Now, currency depreciation, on the other hand, refers to when the value of a currency reduces. Okay? When the value of a currency reduces. For example, 1 euro is equivalent to 1.2 US dollars. Then this currency depreciates, whereby now 1 euro is equivalent to 1.1 US dollars. Then it means it can buy less for another country. Then in that case we say there is currency depreciation. Now, what influences the exchange rate of a currency? In other words, what factors are going to determine how much of one currency is going to be exchanged for another currency? What determines the exchange rate between the Canadian dollar and the American dollar, or the sterling pound and the American dollar? What leads to that? Now, to understand this, we'll look at our second part of this lesson. Thank you.